Shalom, big dog on a Friday. I would be Dogface.
I would be Joe Mommy.
And here we go, the podcast and live stream, episode 15. It is Friday, the 4th day of October. We got some big fish to fry today. Bunch of allegations about someone that is going to break Joe's heart. Sexual allegations and a rape charge being levied. We'll get to that here shortly.
Whom else? My gosh.
Yeah, it seems as if this guy was, if the accusations are accurate, he was hanging out at Puff Daddy's. He was over at the P. Diddy crib on occasion, maybe.
Oh, man.
Also, we're going to talk about this. You can chime in on comments. We do have a live stream going, so we'll get to the comments later on. But what gets better as you get older? Okay, correct answer is nothing. But we want you to get creative and see if you can find something that you think has gotten better since you've gotten older.
I wouldn't agree with that. I've had some things that have gotten better.
Okay, well, yeah, jot them down. Keep the list. We'll get to that. I got to ask this question to see what people think. Chime in on comments. I know it probably won't bother Joe, but Friday here at Casa del Doggo is trash day. And Berkeley and I, we go out for walks. We leave the house about 5:45. It's pitch dark still at that time. And have you noticed lately, it's not getting light till like 10 to 7 now. It's doing that weird, time of year where the sun will just not peak up.
I hate this time of year, dude. It stays dark for so long. It sucks.
Well, we're not even into November yet. That's when we do the time change. So we go for our daily walk. Everyone puts their cans out. Today is trash and grass. So all the cans are out and we're walking. And I've seen this before, and I don't know why, but it irritates the piss out of me. People drive through the neighborhood. There's people that walk with carts. And today I saw people driving in the car, and they drive cans to cans to cans to cans, house to house with flashlights, and they want to go through people's shit. And they're flipping the lid, and they want to see what's in the trash. And I told Berkeley, there was a car coming at us this morning. I said, we're not moving, we're walking. And these people, they drove around me because I was there at a trash can pair, and they kept going. They didn't stop there, but they were flipping the lids. And I know it's trash, it's discarded, and I know it shouldn't bother me, but it irritates the hell out of me that they're doing this. And I know it's going to the landfill. I know we don't want it.
But I don't know if I want somebody going through my garbage can next to my corner and stuff, though. That's a little weird.
No. The cans are out on the road.
That's what I mean. Yeah, you're setting them out for the garbage guy to come by?
Yeah, he comes out with the thing and it grabs it and dumps it.
That's a bit weird, I think.
So they're going through it all. And again, they're not doing it when it's up next to the house, or some people put it on the side yard. But they're going around can to can, flipping the lid, either looking for aluminum or anything that they find discarded that they want. And it really just pisses me off. I don't know why they're doing it. And I know it's trash, but I don't like it. And those cans, as you know, with whoever your trash provider is, they're leased. We don't own the can, but it's a service agreement between whether you have Waste Management or Gilton or whatever your provider is. You sign the agreement, and they drop the can off and you pay them monthly. The cans belong to them, but they actually, in our property, belong to us. We're leasing them, just like you'd lease a car or lease a property or what have you. And I don't know why, but it makes my skin crawl. And it pisses me off. Stay out of stuff that ain't yours. Would you go through someone's leased car? You're walking by because the car's on loan or on lease. Would you open the door and go through someone's belongings there? No. So stay out of a garbage can.
Someone that's going through somebody's garbage can doesn't know what a leased car is.
No. These people were in a decent looking Subaru.
Sure.
They didn't look like they were too down and out. And again, I don't know if they're just doing extra double duty, protecting the planet and saving it from plastics or cans, or if they're looking for good throwaways. I don't know the agenda, but it was a newer car, and they looked somewhat clean and normal. It wasn't like one of those homeless ghost vans.
Weird.
So, chime in.
Let me stop you real quick because I wanted to tell those that are watching on Instagram. The only reason we put it up on there for you guys is just to bring you over to the Facebook, the YouTube, the Twitch. So click on the links that I put up there, and it'll take you over to the live stream. And then those of you that watch on Instagram can get the video too and get the podcast in the morning as well, because Instagram doesn't want to work very well with the other streaming podcast system. So it doesn't put your full video up. So you can't see the whole thing. They don't like
long form video. So yeah, Joe's just putting it up there for a little bit.
Yeah. So when I pull it down, you'll know why.
Let's go to this one. Veronica in comments. Yeah, jump on comments too. We are live and we're going to go through these as much as we can. Veronica says, I don't want anyone going through my trash. It's still mine until it goes in the truck. Monica, I'll do you one better. It's mine even at the landfill. Okay, that's my trash until it's incinerated, burned, buried, or lost, or blows out of the back of the truck. It's mine. And everyone knows that you paper shred nowadays. Everyone knows sensitive documents don't go in the garbage. But every now and again, I take a blood pressure medication. There's a name on the label. A lot of times I'll mark it with a Sharpie. I don't always throw those away. We usually recycle them, but sometimes they end up in the trash. Every now and again, there might be an envelope that's got a name on it. There might be some stuff that ends up in there, and it's just, where's the couth of society? Just stay out of it or go up to the door. It's our can, whether it's in the street or not. Cars are parked in the street. Again, I'm going to go through this a million times. Cars are leased. Those are our property, okay? You can't open a garbage can or shouldn't be allowed to. Knock on the door. Ask if it's okay. If they give you permission, rifle through it. And so help me God, one paper from a straw in the road or anything falls out of that can, that constitutes shovel in back of legs. Okay, that's first warning. Second time you do it, it moves up from back of legs to small of back. And if there's a third time when you're going through trash, then it's shovel between shoulder blades.
I was wondering if you realize what we want is to gain listeners with these things. We would like to have people continue listening to these shows. So to start every episode off like my grandpa is not going to do that for us.
Well,
I don't think.
Okay.
I mean, if you'd like to go ahead and complain about your garbage cans.
I'm not complaining about my cans.
That's okay for me, but I don't know that people really want to hear that.
Well, I'm looking at the comments, and here's the weird thing, Joe. I don't know if you know this or not. I just Googled it. It says here, people that live in apartments, people that live with their parents even. It says here, lots of ages are familiar with trash cans, and taking out the trash. It doesn't sound like by my Google search that trash is just something that old people do or know about or discuss.
No, I'm sure it's not, but it is something that old people gripe about.
Okay.
Do you also clean your garbage cans?
On occasion, and that was the moreover. I'm going to skip since you asked that question. So I've made it a point now. One, I don't put my cans out until it's going to be a little bit later. And the second thing I'm going to do is chicken wrappers and dog shit go on top now exclusively. So that's what you're going to get when you flip the lid on mine, because I'm done with it.
I've never in my life seen anyone drive by a street and look through someone's garbage cans.
Oh,
if
sure
they did that in my they don't do that kind of S in my neighborhood. No
really?
Way. Hell no. No.
Well,
dude, some of the people that live down the street from me, you're not going to pry their can open and look into it. You're going to get laid the F out right on the street in front of the house.
Yeah,
there's some dangerous villains that live down the street.
Well, I carry a stick when I walk Berkeley and thought about swatting someone in the back of the legs with it if they got out and they were in front of me. But again, this guy right here, I'm just going through this. One person says they do it in my neighborhood, especially on recycling day. Greg Griffin, I used to screw my lid shut because they would come and go through my trash and make a mess on the sidewalk in the street, and they would come through before I went to work. So once I was ready to go to work, I would screw or unscrew the lids.
What is this? Is it downtown? These folks live downtown, or where do you live at that's happening?
Yeah, if you do comment on it, give us a zip code and or which city. No,
yeah,
I think
no kidding. I can't believe that. I've never in my life witnessed that.
I think it's pretty common on Recycle Day or Trash Day. Here's the weird thing,
Hell,
though.
it might be.
Today was Trash Day with greens. Today was no recycle. Recycle's every other week on our schedule.
Right,
so
with us as well.
Yeah, the blue can for our case wasn't even out today. It was just trash and grass. So
That's weird, dude.
Yeah.
Is that
Stay
what
out of
they're
the
going
trash.
through? The blue can, the recycle can?
Well,
Because
no,
I'd
no,
love to see somebody going through eggshells and like
no.
old noodles.
That's what I'm telling you. Today was grass and trash. So they were going through the black can, the trash can. So it would be eggs and noodles and chicken wrappers. And, I don't put the number 2 from the dog in the normal trash. That goes in the greens, but I'm going to start putting it in the trash right on top. So when you open it up, it's like, poof.
God, who draws that job at the gang?
Yeah.
I mean, who pulls that? That's a short straw. What are you guys going to do today? I'm going to deal drugs. I'm going to go out and steal copper from water fittings on the back of buildings or whatever they're doing now. Remember, they stole the water copper fitting from our old building there when we were still employed. We didn't have water for a whole day.
Well, again, these people look decent. They had a decent car and they didn't look out of sorts. So it was odd. They were just going can to can looking for, I don't know what.
Maybe they've been fired and have recently had to go through the unemployment process and deal with things of that nature and just said, you know what, today I'm going to go through people's garbage cans and I'm going to steal some copper off of water fittings.
I'll tell you this, I guarantee you could make more per week going through garbage cans than you could from unemployment. So I don't blame them.
No doubt about it. And you'll never jump through as much hoops getting water fittings as you will going through unemployment. They want,
fill out your weekly deal for unemployment and then ask yourself, am I above flipping lids on garbage cans? I doubt it.
I don't think I am anymore.
Joe, stop me as we go. This is going to be heartbreaking for you. Joe has long just believed and had faith in so many people that are seemingly good. And now we have this, all right? And I'm going to read it kind of in its entirety. But here you go. Pretty big bombshell. Country star, music star, Garth Brooks being accused of rape and sexual assault. The lawsuit was filed yesterday. An unnamed woman.
Oh, come on. There's what?
An unnamed woman says that she was repeatedly sexually harassed by Brooks while working as his makeup and hair artist. And in 2019, she was raped, adding that he tried to paint himself as the victim when I was the victim when he filed a lawsuit against her last month because, according to Garth Brooks, he said he was tired of being shaken down. She says he stepped out in front of this because her husband found out about these texts and she kept it from him because she was embarrassed. And once the husband of the woman found out, things got elevated. And that's when Garth Brooks said, or she said, he got out in front of this to try to make it look like it was her crying wolf. In the statement provided yesterday, Brooks denied the allegations. He said, I've been hassled to no end with threats, lies, and tragic tales of what my future would be if I did not write a check for many millions. It's been like having a loaded gun waved in my face. Now, this lawsuit was filed here in California. The woman, identified only as Jane Roe, had been contracted to do the makeup for Brooks' wife, Trisha Yearwood, since 1999. The hairdresser and makeup lady began experiencing financial difficulties 10 years later in 2019, and she says Brooks at that time helped by giving her more work. The woman claims Brooks took advantage of her need for work. She says later in 2019, Garth Brooks, who I joked about this a long time ago. Remember I said if I was a country guy, I'd be Girth Brooks. In 2019, Girth Brooks exposed his genitals to her, she claims, and in another instance, Brooks allegedly raped her at an L.A. hotel suite while Brooks was preparing for a Grammy tribute. With cold disregard, the woman says, Brooks was finished with me doing his hair and makeup, and it was back to business as usual. After the rape she's talking about, Miss Rowe worked quickly to style his hair and do his makeup to make sure that Brooks was not late for the event. The woman claims that Brooks, or says Brooks, claimed to get a cryptic text message from the alleged rape victim that said Brooks ruined his life. This is the first time the husband comes in. He goes on and on and on. There's more details, but it's basically he exposed himself. When she was leaning over him, he grabbed her, and in the hotel before the Grammy presentation, he raped her.
And then made her do his hair.
Well, yeah. And now here's the thing, okay? Whether you want to believe this or not, and I know Joe doesn't want to, but
I don't, man, that makes me feel so sick in my belly, dude. I just can't even.
this is what, and that out of all the things, I'll just read this, and I'm sorry to go long, but Brooks filed a federal lawsuit against the woman last month, claiming she is trying to extort money and defame his character in response to him not making her a salaried employee or giving her benefits because she was down on her luck. He's claiming that's what she wanted. Okay.
And he's saying because he didn't hire her full time, this is what her
reaction
effect is.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Really? I don't believe that of a lady.
Now see, here's the thing.
I mean,
this is
some
where
ladies
I'm at.
maybe, but
Whatever evidence they've seen or whatever there is or whatever's going on, and I don't know if he's guilty or not, okay? But I'll tell you this. Those two pieces of information, okay, the fact that she wanted benefits and more money leads me to believe that a guy like Garth Brooks or anyone in that position would take advantage of her. Here's the other key piece of evidence for me. It's not all the details.
What would that have to do with anything? The person wants benefits.
Hierarchy. He can take advantage. Yes, he knows that she's down on her luck, so he sees her as a victim and someone he can manipulate, someone that's vulnerable. These are these type A characteristics, okay? It's not the big details. It's not like, oh, there was panties on the floor and her stockings were stuck in the ceiling fan. It's not that stuff. It's the little things that deny or claim guilt for me. Here's the other thing. This is the big one. After the allegation of him sexually assaulting and or raping her, he was back to business as usual, and she made sure to get his makeup and hair done so he'd be on time.
That's a weird statement to make if it didn't really happen.
Well, it's not that it's a weird statement. It just goes along with that type A elevated personality and someone taking advantage that's classic. And again, could she have been lying? Yeah, it could be. And I don't know if he did this. I don't know if there's other women out there that have done this with him, but that's where it is. And that's the accusation. And he's countersued her. And what Garth Brooks said in closing was, he's requesting monetary and punitive damages. He wants attorney fees. He wants a jury trial as well as a declaration from the court that the woman's claims are false. Garth went on to say, I trust the system. I do not fear the truth, and I am not the man they have painted me to be. So
he wants a jury trial.
Yeah.
Well, that's different than every other. That's way different right there. That's not paying it and making it go away. That's saying, you know what? I did not do this. Let's take it to court and let a jury of the people decide.
And he goes on to say,
shit.
Hush money, no matter how much or how little, is still hush money. In my mind, that means I'm admitting to behavior I am incapable of. Ugly acts no human should ever do to another. And then he requested the punitive damages and said that he wanted a jury to look at this. So that's bold. There's been other people that have been accused and found guilty of these things that have said the same. So
really? Who?
Let's hope. Huh?
Who else has been guilty and requested a jury trial?
Oh, God. Who knows how many?
Oh, I didn't know that. I thought this was something that was done only when you...
No.
Weinstein and those guys are like, yeah, let's have a jury on it. Let's let a jury vote on this.
I don't know Weinstein particularly or Epstein or whatever, but yeah, a lot of people that have money or don't want it to go or want the person to go away or want to settle, sure, they'll levy up, they'll pony up, and they'll say these things that they know the public wants and needs to hear to salvage reputation.
See, I only remember one that did that, and that was Lance Armstrong. Remember, he sued that woman and her family, and he leveled her, dude, and he took everything from that poor woman, and she was in the right, and he was the one who was lying.
So that's a perfect one. My memory escapes me of others, but a lot of people have done or said what he said. I hope that he's on the right side of this. No one wants anyone to, one, have this happen to him, and then two, for people that love Garth Brooks, no one wants that image.
I can't have Garth Brooks be a rapist. If he is, that kills everything for me.
Will you still believe that there's good on earth? A majority of good on earth.
Majority?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, good.
Yes,
Okay.
I do. Yes, I do. I will never stop believing that.
All right.
I have a good heart and a good soul, and I have an anger that lies in me that is very eruptive. If I can control it, and you can control it, and people that we know can control it, anyone can do it, dude. It's all a matter. You just men have testosterone, men have tempers, men have, little rage things. You have to learn to be a big enough man to be able to control yourself. You can't act like a wild person every single time you want to. And I think these people get into a position where they make so much money and they have so much given to them, there's no more control. Whatever they want, they're gluttonous. They'll take it. And if he wanted sex from that poor lady, he'll take it. And then maybe have her fix his hair afterwards. And that makes me feel like puking. I mean, I couldn't even imagine that. And so how can it be so different from those guys to guys that aren't famous, to guys that aren't making millions of dollars? I don't understand.
Because it's that type A personality that got them to where they are. They'll stop at nothing. They want what they want when they want it. Will stop at no rest stop or position in life to wait for it to come to them. They're going to take everything. And they know the same way they got there has got them to get what they want easier now. So just taking what they wanted is what they had to do. Then it becomes a part of their habitual life. Then when they can't have something, no doesn't mean no to them. So they continue taking, and now they have money. Now they have celebrity. Now they have fame. Now they have the limo. Now they have the beach. Now they have all this stuff, and history has taught them taking what they want is the way you get what you want. And if you wait, you hesitate, it passes you by.
That's not true. Both of us are go-getters, and you have to be a go-getter in life to do a lot of things that a lot of people do, to have jobs and to have nice homes and vehicles and family. A lot of folks are go-getters, and they go after it, and they go after it 100%, and they don't live their life that way. That is seeing someone cry in front of you and feel scared, and you don't care. You take pleasure in it. That's a effed up. That is effed up morally and mentally beyond all recognition for me.
See, I don't subscribe to it, but I've told you. That's why I love the mafia.
How could you look at a woman crying and not want to comfort her?
No.
But you would just keep on hurting her. That's the most ate-up thing I've ever heard of.
That's terrible. And I'm not condoning that in any means. What I'm saying is I get it. I know what and wish I could have fewer morals. I'm very, very...
You do not wish you could have fewer morals.
No, I do. You think that I joke with this. Why do you think I love mafia movies? Why do you think I love Pablo Escobar? And why do you think I watch this stuff? I've always told you the fact that they don't care. They're going to go out and do it. And whatever happens, happens. Now, I'm not talking about
to look
rape,
at
per se.
and watch, but live that life. Live it. You think that life was fun for them?
I don't know.
It was fun for Pablo to be on the run at the end of his life with his family, and he's got his wife and his kids, and they're running around, they're burning money to stay alive.
To stay warm, yeah. Okay.
That ain't fun.
Okay, but look at all the stuff before that.
Oh, he had 10 years of fun? Okay, cool. And he got to make some hippos. He brought a live hippo population into the South America. Oh,
yeah,
cool.
It's like thriving now. Yeah, there's more hippos there than where hippos are from.
Got to do some good cocaine, whatever. I did good cocaine and went to a zoo. I got the same thing.
Yeah, well, I'm just saying that when the casket closes, okay, just a reference, and you're looking at the darkness, or you're staring at the lid on your jar that your ashes are in.
That's the life you'd like to remember.
No, I'm just saying.
That's not the life I want.
Going to bed at night, content, doing the right thing when you're 52 years of age, and we sit in the chairs that we're in now, unemployed, makes me scratch my head. I wonder who made who or who is right. I contemplate it a lot. I really, really do.
Why? We had killer lives. What are you talking about? I had an awesome life, dude.
I did too.
And mine's not even over with yet. I'm just fired right now. I'm in a hiatus point in my life.
Well, according to you, because we started the podcast today talking about trash, mine is, sadly. My life is over.
No.
And if it's not, it will be soon.
I'm going to pull you out of your aging philosophy. No, I'm being serious. Yeah, we got fired. F it. People get fired, I guess. You know, I got to spend some real loving quality time with my family and my son, and I'm getting to build a podcast that I love to do way more than I love doing that radio show. I hated radio. I'm just going to be honest with you. I hated it. And you know I did. I hated every second of it.
Uh-huh.
I hated going to work. I hated radio. They took everything about radio that I loved and killed it.
Mm-hmm.
And they made radio crossing T's, dotting I's, no more entertainment, no more doing silly bits and skits and making the listeners laugh and have fun. They killed all that for me. So good. Take my job. That's fine. I'll find another way to do this.
Yeah.
You know?
And again, you know, that we all succumb to money or what have you, but I'm being 100% truthful. I've tell my wife this every day, every news story. You look at people that do this, you know, no matter what it is. Back with the foreclosure crisis, with the Great Recession, everyone was gutting their houses and letting them go back to the banks. And then they'd get their payments and they'd go out and they'd buy cars, trucks, and boats, you know. I've always told this.
We didn't do that. I didn't do that.
No, we didn't. And
I saved my money and bought a house during that time.
I've always done the right thing. But when you look up and we rest our pillowed heads at night thinking, oh, we're good moral souls, I really wrestle with it. And again, I continue to do the right thing, but I
like
just
it when
wonder.
you say that.
I just wonder, what if? I wish I didn't have the morality and the values that I don't know who taught me. I wish they'd go away. And
I don't know who taught me.
Like, seriously, I was pretty much raised by dingoes, coyotes, and wolves.
No.
But I get why people do things. And again, not sexual assaults, but chasing after the money or trying to get what they want. I get it. And in another life, I used to think I'd come back as an architect or lawyer. No, I want to be in the mafia.
Man, see, I don't want to take from anyone. That's not my thing. I don't need that. If I see what someone has, I see it as I drive around right now, all kinds of, one of the coolest things I've ever wanted was a nice, cool truck. You've always known that. I've always wanted to be able to afford one and have one. I finally got my Explorer. It's not a truck, but for me, it's a truck because I get to have the same kind of stuff with it, but I get a back so I can sleep in there if I want to go out somewhere. I like the SUVs better than trucks because I have trailers and whatever else. So I finally got one. You know what? It's not the coolest truck. I don't have badass rims on it or mufflers, but I will when I get another job. But I don't have it yet, or my windows tinted. But I love that truck, and you know it, you know. And I wash it, and I keep it clean, and I love that thing, man. And I'm proud of it. And it's not the nicest truck in the world, but I finally got it, and I love it more than life itself, and I'll take care of it and, you know, keep it for as long as I can. That's the kind of thing I have. I don't have the nicest motorcycle. I have a used enduro motorcycle. It's not a Harley anymore, but I love it. I'm gonna go ride on it today when I get done. It's like it's gotta be like that, man. You know, I think.
Yeah, and I have subscribed to that. I'm just ready to cancel that subscription. I'm 52 and I'm ready. I'm running out of time.
No, we're not, man.
Yeah.
We're not.
Let's get to this too. This is a pretty interesting piece. And I'm not going to bore you with the details. But I am going to give you the headline from Fox News. This is pretty crazy. Serial killers hide as long-haul truckers to terrorize America's highways, experts say. And basically now what they have is an FBI task force that they started building back in like 1999. And they say, experts say, there's murders prowling on large U.S. interstates, hiding in trucks and truck stops. The main corridor of death, destruction, and debauchery is I-40. And, you know, that goes through New Mexico, Arizona. That's the old, you know, Route 66, Oklahoma, Texas. It's a main artery right through America. And they say that is where all the trouble happens. And they say these long-haul truckers, meaning multi-state, they're the ones hiding in their trucks, hiding at the truck stops, and taking advantage of the disadvantaged. You know, some call them lot lizards, night walkers, night crawlers.
That's who they're getting. They're getting because my dad has told me stories about the lot lizards and how they'll come up and knock on your door at nighttime when you're sleeping in there. And
it's not just them. It's children. It's drugs. It's trafficking.
Where are they getting children?
Well, wherever, you know, wherever traffickers get them,
They just go grab them somewhere, and then
Well,
I see. I
that
thought
or
you meant it
people
like
hire
truck
'em.
stops.
Yeah, and now they're fencing drugs. They're hey, yeah, we'll take a load of canned goods from there to Texarkana, and I didn't see you load the 5 children in back, but yeah, I'll drop those off along the way too.
Ew.
There's a lot of that business going on, but then there's a lot of actual drivers that know that they can hide. They've got the big truck. They go here to here to here, and it's Breakdown, the Kurt Russell movie, real life. And there's a task force out there now saying that it's gotten so bad, they need to do something about it. And I looked at the map where the crimes are being committed. The dot majority, meaning all the places, it's on the East Coast and the Midwest. And again, your dad was a long haul trucker. What if your dad, Joe, is like C.J. McCall from that movie Breakdown? He was the one that drove the truck with the glasses that kidnapped Kurt Russell's wife. What if?
No, there's no way. My dad's built the same way I am. He's built a lot like you in his attitude. He acts just like you do, but his insides are a lot like mine. He's way more sensitive than I ever thought, I can see it now.
So he would never have gotten wrapped up in a kidnapping racket.
No, he would have been, back in his day, he was slick, dude. He didn't have a belly on him and stuff. When he was my age, about 49, he would have stopped. He would have been the Kurt Russell in that movie.
So to be a trafficker or a murderer or a serial killer, you can't have a belly, or you have to have a belly?
I think you'd have to have a belly. That guy had a belly in that movie, remember?
Yeah, C.J. McCall he had a little belly. Yeah.
And his weird partner just walked weird. He was knock-kneed, and he had a real big ass on him, and he was just a weird fella, that guy.
Yeah. You talking about McGinley?
Yeah, the one that gets choked out by Kurt Russell in the truck.
Yeah, he's the one that slams his cock on the window and sideways. He's the one that runs up to. His name's like McGinley or something. He's a classic,
weirdly built, man.
Yeah, he's a classic biker, dirtbag, kind of ruffian, trucker, bad guy image is always what he plays, and he's a great character actor. Yeah, but he's the guy that Kurt Russell duct taped him to the seat. He's like, ah!
Oh,
and it's just the brakes.
He's just a weird feller, man. His legs are all. Whenever you see him getting up anywhere, his legs are all knock-kneed. He always kind of runs like this when he's running. His ass is huge.
Yeah, he's a big guy. I think he's like 6'4" or 6'5".
Easily. He might even be taller than that, man. He's a monster.
He's a pretty big dude. Okay, we'll stop there with that. I want to get to this. Now we have to have some good news and something to go away with on Friday. Okay. Maybe you put this into comments. I said earlier today we were going to talk about this. The correct answer is nothing, but I want you to really think, and I hate to give you homework on a Friday, but what gets better as you get older? All right, you can chime in now. We'll get to the comments. I'll read some of these. Joe, if you could, jot them down. Jot some of these down.
What gets better as you get older?
Yeah, and you know what? I'll start. I'll get it going. If you asked me this question 2 months ago, I would have said financial security. I'm 52. You're like, okay, got some money saved, got everything in order, but, then we lost our job. Another thing, your ability to predict an outcome, I think, becomes more and more able as you get older. And I will say this, and this is that stupid moral or morale or that little angel on my shoulder talking to me. And I hate that bitch. Appreciating the little things. You get better and better at that as you age. That little, and you're doing the right thing. Yeah, you paid your bills and your mortgage on time. You don't pirate cable. You said you were sorry when you cut them off. You only flipped the bird twice this week. Little bitch. I hate that little voice inside your head that rewards you and helps you do good things. Yuck.
You're a wild person.
So those are mine. I think as you get older, your ability to predict an outcome, appreciating the little things, and up until August 7th, financial security, and finally being able to get to a place where you can. I told Joe, son was done with college. He's off. He's doing his thing. I wanted to buy a Porsche, like a used one.
He did.
I really did. And I've been looking at him.
And he's because we're going to get another job, and he's going to be just fine. He can have his Porsche.
Yeah, but it's all screwed up now. You know, I wanted a 2013, and I'd been looking at them. I loved it, and I was going to buy a used one. You know, low mileage. Always wanted one, and then so now I don't get one.
These people are going to realize really quickly what a giant mistake they have made very fast.
That or they're rolling around right now just throwing money in the air because we're gone. One of the two.
Well, right now they're throwing money in the air, but some of it's landing back in our pockets because we're still collecting severance. Is why we're not charging for this program and why we're still somewhat broke. You know?
I'll read some of these. What gets better as you get older? This person says, you get smart about people. I can now tell far more easily who to trust and who is taking advantage of me. These were things I was oblivious to when I was younger. But now I'm able to see things quicker or more clearly. This one, I'm now in my 70s. The past 10 years have been the best time of my life. One thing gets better is this. If you have kids, you have an empty nest. Your kids are now adults and have reached the cross point or crossover point where they worry more about you than you do them. This person says, whew, finally, I finally earned it. That's a tough one because I told Joe, or Joe asked me, you just don't ever. This person says into your 70s, you stop worrying about your children or your kids. It never goes away.
I don't think it does, huh?
I don't think the worry will ever end. I mean, we worry less now and we're proud and we're happy, but I don't think that stops. I wouldn't think until the day the lights go out. That's tough with kids.
Well, I tell you this. I mean, there was a boy or girl, I don't know what it was, that got hit on an e-bike on the way to school yesterday at my son's school. And I got the blurb right as our podcast was ending. And I told Dog, I said, oh my gosh, someone got hit on the way to school on their e-bike. And all I can think about was it my son's? Because I built his up to be a beast, and it's just so fast, and it just scared the daylights out. But it wasn't. No, he rides it very respectfully, and he knows it's got just an S load of power, but he's really good on it, and I've taught him how to do it well, and it wasn't him. They didn't even see the person.
You freak out all the time, though. If it were him, CHP, sheriff, PD, and or school would have contacted you far before an email blast.
That's what Emily said, too. Yeah, she said we would be on the phone with someone right now.
Yeah, you would have known long before that. But Joe, again.
Well, I mean, man, you just don't know.
Mountain.
People in areas that have children going to school, and I know this they just drive like maniacs. Mm-hmm. And you're like, you damn well can see a kid walking down the street right there. I know you can see him when you're driving by. What makes you feel you have the right to go by at 50 miles an hour? Yeah, but because you're late for work or something? Or what are you doing? You
don't know that was the driver that hit the kid speeding?
No, but you've seen people in your area around schools drive like that. Yeah, I mean, sure, what's the big deal? Why would you do that?
I'll tell you this. The other day I was driving. And
you're one of them.
No, I was driving fast down a road that was a 45, and I was probably going 65 or so, not nearby a school. This is a major thoroughfare. Two young schoolgirls want to run across the street. They're walking home from somewhere. They wait till the last minute. I see them. I do slow down, but there's a lot of dumb kid behavior, trying to jaywalk, run across, beat the traffic, riding the bike, popping wheelies, zigzagging. Kids do stupid stuff, too. I'm not saying...
But they're kids, and we're adults, and it's just like if we were still cave people and the kid wanted to go on the hunt with dad or run out in front of the hunting tribe while he's going on, for a saber tooth or something, you would slow him down too. I mean, the kids do dumb stuff. You're supposed to be like, hey, what are you doing? I try to take a moment and talk to them because I've got the garage up. They see the motorcycles and the dune buggy and things like that when they ride by, and the kids in the neighborhood like to look at them and stop in and talk to you. So I take a moment and be like, dude, I love you riding wheelies. It looks bad as hell. I like to watch you guys ride them up and down the street, but do you even understand how dangerous it is when you swerve in front of a car that's coming at you to do that little dip move that kids do? I go, bro, I've been hit by a car, and I'm here to tell you, it don't feel good. If it ever happens to you, you're going to wish it didn't.
I got to step in. I think it's great that you're nurturing the children that aren't yours with wisdom.
Well, they like me.
Yeah, that's great. But you still won't teach your own son how to put a condom on.
He's not at my house this week since we've had that conversation.
Have him
get
call
him
me.
back on Sunday.
I'll take the awkwardness right out of it. We can put him on the FaceTime or whatever. I'll go out and I'll get whatever type of shape or object you want, and I'll show him how to slip it on, and then it's not coming from you. So he's going to trust the advice more when it's coming from someone else than his dad, and I'll tell it to him straight.
And will you?
I'll tell him, I'll say, hey, here's the deal. Do you want kids? Do you want gonorrhea? Do you want syphilis? Do you want to ruin your life? You're only this age. This is what you do. It's simple. You put it on like this. Make sure the reservoir's got enough room there. If it cracks, check it, snap it. Look, I'll do it for you.
That's ridiculous.
I'll do a lot of stuff.
What I'm going to ask him is
for money.
What these kids are doing nowadays. You kids talking about condoms? Huh? Are you kids? Is that going? He'll tell me.
But that's the thing. You think he will, and
He
parents think they have open conversations with their kids, but if you don't initiate the awkward openness, you think they are, but they aren't. That's why the best thing to do is talk about weird shit with your kids and stuff that's uncomfortable to them, because the more you do it, the more normal it becomes, and the more trust they have to talk about the stuff that's taboo.
I don't even want to go down the road of sex. All the little girls like him, and he's just a funny little fella, and I don't even want to think about any of that. I just want him to be a kid, and he doesn't even have a girlfriend yet. I don't want him to have a girlfriend yet.
Back on track, and I hate to get us back on track with sex. These are things that get better as you age. But according to this person, oddly, the sex gets better. Why? Because you don't need to worry about pregnancy or STDs if you have a long-term partner. Plus, there's no kids walking in, and that is definitely something to look forward to. Raw dogging with the empty nest. Yeah. Just, hey, no one's going to beat on the door. The kids aren't going to be like, what are you doing to mom? Nope. It's just going to town.
Can't use the word raw dogging when you're talking about your spouse. Doesn't fit. Can't do it. It's got to be done in like a terrible type situation. Not when you're talking about love. You don't raw dog loved ones.
You have no jurisdiction or authority or anything to contribute to this, because it's been a long time since you've been divorced. I'm approaching 29 years of age, and I'm telling you, raw dogging.
Oh, that's terrible. It's a terrible statement.
Let me look at one more quick one here. This is pretty good. What has gotten better since you've gotten older? Just the feeling of having survived for so long. You're at ease whenever or whatever you do. And when you tell stories about your life or how it was like growing up, people occasionally look at you in awe. I like that one. Just simply aging. Just there you are. Been there, done that. You got the stories.
That's a nice thing to think, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah. I'm not going to read the whole thing.
That's a nice thing to think. Yeah.
I noticed this too. And I'm, because of one, the position we're in, but two, I've noticed it as well. You spend a lot less money on crap you don't need. I know, Joe, you're not old enough yet to comprehend that.
It's been a real hard one for me here lately.
But
especially during the Halloween season.
Oh, God.
It's been a real hard one.
And are you decorated yet?
Oh, yeah, it's decorated. I'll take some photos soon and show them. We'll put them up on the podcast next week and show them.
Are you going to hand out actual trick-or-treat candy this year or IOUs? Because I think that'd be funny. Come back next year, 2025. I'll make it up to you. Just a little note.
If I have to put every ounce of it on a credit card, these kids will get what they're always used to at this house. They get candy, and they get lots of it.
Yeah. Well,
they know what's going on when they come over here.
I want to read this one. DC, Dave Courtney. He's been with us a long, long time.
Hi, Dave.
He says, I turned 50 in January. I realize how important the love of my wife and my kids is. I realize I spent too much time at work, and they are still here for me.
Aw.
Yeah, coming full circle, and it's weird, the 50s, you start really evaluating, overanalyzing, analyzing, and thinking about, was Was that a good turn I made back in the 80s? Did I do that right in the 90s? Should I have taken that job in the 2000s? And then, you really do start itemizing and putting things in order. Was it worth it? Was it not? What do I need to get done?
Yeah.
So that's a pretty good one, Dave.
I feel pretty good about those choices for me alone. I think everyone knows the one choice I don't feel good about would be the fact that me and Digger's mom got divorced. That will be one that I'll have a hard time with forever. But in lieu of that, I did change my life, and she is still a good friend of mine, and we're fantastic co-parents. So I think I came out of it about as good as you can get without having your relationship back.
So what for you now that you're older is better?
I'll tell you what's better for me is my ability to, and Doug, I know you don't think it because you're the one place I let it all out, but my ability to control me. I had anger issues when I was a young man. Always have had depression issues, anxiety issues were there as well. I believe most of it came from smoking pot at a young age where it messed my mind and my brain up a little bit, and I've had them for life or longer.
A little bit.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it's been troublesome. So over the years, I've tried medicines and this and that and the other thing. And I finally have figured out at 49 years of age, if your brain can give it to you, your brain can take it away. With me, not with everyone. Some people need medicines. I need medicines for ADD, or else I could never even sit here and have a conversation close to like this with you guys. I would be scattered all over the place. But you don't need medicines for everything. You can eat better. You can start living life better. I've gotten off the antacid medicine. I've gotten off all kinds of things that I thought I needed and had to have. And I live a much healthier life now, and I feel a lot better.
How many Advil you take in a day?
None.
When did that start?
I think these.
Oh, since you got the new glasses.
I think so. I was going to tell you that the other day before we went on. I think, honest to God, on my life, I think what was going on was I was using, because I was always switching between two glasses. So I would keep the readers on for too long, and then I'd look around the room and it would be blurry, or I would keep the other ones on for too long and I'd try to look at text and it would be blurry. And because that was something we were doing every day, it was rocking me, dude. But now I've started wearing these things, and I wear them a little bit and a little bit. I actually rode the motorcycle in them yesterday, which was a huge thing for me because to drive or do anything, it was very, very blurry because it gets real blurry on my. Do you have good peripheral vision?
Oh yeah, the best. I do too. I can see a guitar behind me right now. Is it what? Hold on. Is it there? There is not. Is there really? Oh, holy shit! There's two. Are you kidding me? I didn't. Yeah. They always say someone's got eyes in the back of their head. Holy hell.
You're an idiot. I have really good peripheral vision too, and which is what has bothered me about trying to wear glasses, because you can see. Your vision goes normal out the sides of your, like I can see all the way back here, and you can't see that. If I look sideways, I can see all the way right there. I can see this finger moving, looking dead ahead, and that is behind my shoulder.
Can you see that finger moving? Oh, what?
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's what it was. Once I got used to these things and was able to, that's why you'll see me look up and down when I'm looking at the screen sometimes. But once I got it down, it really has helped a lot. I can't believe it. I haven't taken any Advil. I just thought about it yesterday in a whole week.
A lot of people were like, wow, is Joe sober? Is Joe drunk? Is Joe nauseous? Is Joe wearing Heelys? A lot of people want to know why you were going like this all the time.
Yeah.
You look like a bobblehead, and it's because Joe has his progressive frames. He's got his top bottoms.
Go look about 2 or 3 podcasts ago. You'll really see me doing it. And once in a while, you'll still see me kind of doing it now. It's just very wild. Now, the woman in the optometrist, she said, you're going to, your eyes are just going to start doing that. You won't have to tell them, think it and tell them to do it anymore. And I'll be damned. It's second nature. I don't know, but boy, they sure do. I no longer have to do it. I know exactly where they're going to go. And it's very weird, dude. I love them. I love these.
If others would join me in this, I think it's fun. But yeah, please refer to, respond to, comment. And I think going forward, we're going to call Joe Carey.
No way, dude.
There's two parts to the Joe Carey. It's Harry Carey, and Drew Carey. So when you say Joe Carey, we're getting both people that are notorious glasswares, and you look like both combined.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
Both very good looking men, especially Harry Carey.
We're going to cut this short on a Friday. Let's do some news right now.
Okay.
This just in, friends.
Here we go, friends. Striking U.S. dock workers will return to work Friday, that would be today, after reaching a tentative agreement with employers on improved wage offerings. The conditional offer was for a 62% wage increase. The offer's on the table for the next 90 days. They're going to come back and rediscuss coming up January 15th of the new year. So,
Okay.
if you're still stockpiling the ass wipe and the bottled water and I don't know what else, stop it, okay? Stop stockpiling it. It was really only going to affect European imported things, but then people started panic buying. So just know you don't need to go out and buy every square of toilet paper until January 15th, 2025, when there's
Isn't
still
that
not
funny,
a reason.
though? They did it all, and now it's not even. There's no reason for it whatsoever. It's
Yeah.
like, just pump the brakes, just a second, dude.
What
Just a second, just pump the brakes.
You know, you hear the husband, he's out in the garage, or the wife honking the horn. Meh, meh. They go out there, it's like, well, I can't park the goddamn. How come there's 75 pallets of Charmin where I parked my car? Oh, because there's a labor strike going on with the longshore, or vice versa. It could have been a guy doing that.
Did you see the dock worker guy's house?
Oh, I believe he is the union leader for the dock workers.
The one who organized the strike.
Oh yeah. He makes almost $1 million a year in just regular salary.
Sure.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel so bad for him. I mean, he's got a house as big as the P Daddy mansion that's being raided right now.
Okay, well, you know what? Get in line. Be a union official or be the main man. And not only he's been a longshoreman for like 48 or 58 years.
Good.
So
Maybe he should just be happy about that and shut the hell up. I mean, you really think they're being treated that bad? The guy's place looks fantastic, dude.
okay, but
He's got to be getting paid what he's worth.
yeah, but the guy that just ponied up his union dues probably doesn't live on the same block. The guy that's been a longshoreman for 2 years or what have you. Hey, you're the union man. I hate unions. Unions are stupid, but he's the main man. That's why he's making all the money. And when people see his house, that's why they follow.
I'm just saying, gluttony, it's a thing. You don't
Yeah, but-
need more than what you need.
You get everything you, in my book, want within the means of the law. That's where I have trouble with. No, if that guy earned it, did that guy steal that house? No, that guy didn't steal that house. There's no reason why he shouldn't have it. Everyone's making a big deal about all the money he made.
What does he do for a living? That man.
So
What is that guy's job?
again, I don't have his name in front of me. He's a gray-haired guy. He's got a
Yeah, he's
beard.
he was the old man with the beard, and he had
And-
a great big chain around
Gold
his neck
chain,
or whatever
yeah.
it was.
So he has been a longshoreman and a union labor leader appointed. He's done quite a few terms.
Is he still pulling ropes on the boat to lift the stuff up to get
No.
it to go? Okay, so
No.
what is he doing to make that kind of money?
He's making the companies and making the union the kind of money because he's directing those below him to do it the right way, the fast way, or the profitable way. He's earned his right to boss others around, and he wouldn't be in the position if he wasn't making money for the company. He's being rewarded because money's being made. And I don't think it's hush-hush money. It seems legitimate. The guy's earned his keep.
So in return, you go on strike against that company
No, it's not that.
and organize it for that's what it looks like to the rest of the world.
Yeah,
It's like the guy has a pot big enough to feast on, and he's got anything he wants. He could be helping these dudes out in far other ways, but you're going to stop the supply of goods because you think you need more.
It's not
One
just...
man.
It's not him that's getting the more. It's for the longshoreman union. He's not the only one. Will he get some sort of bonus? Probably if he
I'm
gets
sure
him back.
he probably will.
Probably. This is the thing that I think they need to look at. What's in it for him if he gets him back to work and they make a bargain agreement like they've done? That's where he's going to make the money, is when he caves and gives the other
He
soldiers.
organized the strike. He can cave anytime he wants. He's the one who decided how to do it.
But as their leader, I don't know if he organized it. He's just the one that's running it. But I think other people were bitching, and he probably told them, yeah, right now's a good time if you want to leverage your union to help you make more money.
Well,
that's what you can't the union.
Look around, take a view of the pulse of the country that you're doing this in. Look around. People aren't getting raises and getting rich right now. They're surviving because people are in a hard place. People are far and few between, bro.
I'm just telling you, that's not true. There's lots of profitability and lots of people. Just because we're unemployed, lots of people
I said
are making.
That before we were unemployed.
People are making money. Things are profitable. Things are moving. This world that you live in is not accurate. This little cosmic thing that you're in, this chasm, it's and this guy deserves all the money that they pay him as long as it's legitimate. He's not robbing banks.
It's just ridiculous. It's just the
unions are ridiculous. This is what happens when you unionize.
Just crazy. I don't get it. There should be no need for that.
This is why we pay too much for everything, because of the union.
Well, that's your view. The union kept my father employed when he got past an age, and they tried to fire him so he didn't get his benefits.
Because there was a guy with a beard and a gold chain that rallied for him, just like this guy you're talking about.
Oh, gosh.
I'm just telling you.
Ridiculous.
It's
My
true.
dad didn't want more money. He wanted to stay employed. He wasn't trying to get rich, and it wasn't like that. He wanted to work until he could retire. They wanted to cut him out before he retired so they didn't have to pay his retirement.
That's right. That's another
cheapness.
That's another great thing about unions.
That's what saved him.
Tesla's recalling 27,185 Cybertruck. Are there that many on the road?
I saw one yesterday with a big American flag rolling right into the Tesla dealership.
They're recalling almost 30,000 of these things because visibility problems with the rear view camera. It's the fifth recall. Fifth recall for the stainless steel electric pickup truck since it first hit the road at the end of 2023. Wow, 5 recalls.
Man. That's unbelievable.
Yeah. But what are you going to do?
Well, I guess go buy one.
Yeah, I don't want one.
It's not slowed them down one bit. I mean, they're selling. They're all over the place. I can't believe how many of them you're seeing on the roads these days. There's a lot of them.
Quite a few of them.
Yeah.
And contrary to what Joe says, with tough times, times are so tough for the majority that they're building new cruise ships and cannot buy them or build them fast enough. 2025 will set a new cruising, as far as in a boat, record. Experts see a massive boom in travel, especially with cruising and cruise ships. 3 new cruise ships are going to set sail next year. More and more people want on. There's not enough ships.
Really? After the debacle with COVID, now cruising is back to its original hiatus, and then even more folks now want to go cruising.
And I think that's it.
Yeah, put me on a boat with a bunch of them people. I hope you dock me out at sea for 6 months. I'm game.
I think that's why it's so big now, because it got all disrupted. And then even after COVID, people were still getting it, and they get the diarrhea or whatever they call that. And so now, for whatever reason, I guess it's somewhat cleaned up and people are ready to get back out on the sea.
Well, I don't know if it's that or it's the commercials they run, because the commercials they run make it look like the coolest effing thing you've ever done in your life. I've never seen them as big as they are, with this more S on there to do and slides, and it's they've got water parks and there's animatronic
golf
dinosaurs
courses,
and
bumper cars.
Yeah, you name it, dude.
Yeah. Again, just keep in mind though, all that stuff that you would do on land, you get to leave when you're done. Okay. There, you can't. You're held hostage. You're out at sea. So when you get done driving golf balls, or you get done playing shuffleboard on the dock, or you hit, whatever the hell they're doing, bumper cars, shooting guns.
I mean, you name, they probably do skeet shoot. I mean, I have no idea what they're doing on those things. They're 37 floors tall.
Yeah. When you're done, you have to go back to your cabin and just go like this all night, or back and forth. You know,
I can't believe you can feel that like that in those big things.
Oh, yeah, you do.
Doesn't it have to be stormy?
Well, like I told you, when we went down to Mexico and Hurricane Nikki hit. So we had swells, but even before the hurricane or the weather that came through, and Hurricane Aniki was in Hawaii, is where it touched down. But even though you get out at the ocean, there's times when it's rough. And
Sure.
yeah. You feel it. You
Don't
feel
they
it.
send those things out?
Those riggers, the outriggers,
They
that's like that's like bad stuff.
Right. They don't have those out all the time?
Not that I'm aware of, no.
Oh, okay. I don't know.
I mean, maybe they did. You know, you can't see. There's part of the boat that's way underwater. I mean, but I don't think we had outriggers out.
Oh, there's 100 feet of that boat that's underwater, probably.
Yeah, the cruise ship we went on, my wife and I, it was a blow-up raft. There was only 8 people aboard.
Did it have the side panels that would come up? You could ride jet skis out and rip around and do that kind of stuff?
No, it just you have boats on the side that in case of an emergency.
No. They're making them now like they got jet ski rentals on them, and yeah, they'll pull them out. And once you dock up at a little harbor or something like that, you can rip jet skis around on them. And
no, this was when we went to Cabo, because Cabo still doesn't. I don't know, but they didn't have a port. So what they would do is they would anchor and they would use the life or safety boats that are on the ship. They would lower those down, and that's what they ferried us from the boat into Cabo with.
They probably do that at a lot of different ports, right?
Yeah.
Because their ships are so. I'm just saying this is a new feature they have now.
No.
So when they're docked up, they got a little area that opens up, and there's a little deck thing down there, and you can rent and ride your jet skis around. Now that's sick.
This was 1990 when we went, and it was a Royal Caribbean cruise. And again, it was like a Sevilor raft compared to what they do now. I mean, it was big, but it was not like what you see.
They're unbelievable now, man. They are unbelievable.
Kirk Cousins, we talked a lot about him last year. You know, he was sitting around hanging out on the couch. They called him. He comes back in. Everybody's going crazy. Kirk Cousins, look at him. He's back. Well, Thursday night, last night, he ain't back. I mean, this dude is back to break the backs of others. Career high for him and for the team, the Atlantic Falcons, that he throws for. 509 yards and 4 touchdowns. 36-30 over the Buccaneers in overtime.
So he just beat the record that, was it not Carson Daly? It was the Red Rocket, Andy Dalton, and Mahomes beat.
Carson Daly?
No, it was the Red Rocket, Andy Dalton, the old Bengal quarterback. Andy Dalton became the first quarterback to throw for 300 yards and 3 touchdowns in one game, or in the first 3 games. And then right after him, Josh Mahomes did it. And then, so now after him,
You're giving me a stroke. You're saying Josh Mahomes and Carson Daly. Okay.
No, not Carson Daly. The Red Rocket, Andy Dalton.
Yeah.
He threw 300 yards and 3 touchdowns in the first 3 games, was the first quarterback to do it. I thought it was very weird because he was so bad for the Bengals.
I know, but
Mahomes did it, and he did it the very next weekend.
His first name's Patrick.
Oh, what did I say, Josh?
Yes. That's why I said you're making me crazy with all these names.
And then now, 2 weeks later, this guy comes out and does 500 yards, 4 touchdowns.
509. It was a career high. It was a team record. And they talked to Kirk Cousins at the end of the night. He said, what a night.
Crazy.
He's at the post-game conference, and he quickly said, I'm exhausted.
Oh, I bet he is.
That's basically 2 great games or 3 low games for a quarterback. I mean, really, because I think you're like just at 2 or just over 2 is like average to decent. So, I mean, he either played, 3 games or 2 great ones. That's a lot of yardage. Good for him.
That's incredible, especially when they're talking about how big of a deal it is to throw for over 300 with 3 touchdowns.
Yeah.
And then now this guy blasts in with over 5. And it's the people. I mean, of course you expect Patrick Mahomes to do it.
Yeah.
But where the hell did Andy Dalton come from? Where the hell did this guy come from? It's just wild, man, that they're back in the game and just playing like this.
Yeah, Kirk Cousins, he was on the couch up until last year.
For a long time. I think a couple years, huh?
Costco, we've talked about them selling gold bars. We've talked about them selling. What else was Costco selling that was kind of odd? They were selling gold bars, and then they were selling, weren't they selling vats of crude oil? They were selling something.
Didn't they also sell silver?
Yeah, well,
after the gold started doing good, they sold silver as well, didn't they?
Well, now you got to keep the dream alive. Now they're selling platinum bars. 1-ounce platinum bars for $1,089.99. These are on the website, but a Costco membership is required. The bar features Lady Fortuna, the Roman goddess of prosperity, and Costco's trying to replicate the recent success they had with their gold bars. So they said everybody loves buying these precious metals and these valuables. So they said, hey, we're going to keep doing it. And they said they're going like gangbusters. People want platinum now.
Wow. What is it with Costco? They're in on it, man. They know something that we don't, I guess. They're selling like into the now. If they start selling cartons of cigarettes and real cheap, bottles of whiskey and liquor and things like that, we'll know something's up.
Okay, well, I'll just tell you this, and I hate to even repeat this. They're already doing the whiskey. You can buy the gigantic, what I'll call cowboy bottle of Woodford Reserve, and it's $53. You remember the one you bought me for my birthday?
Great big one? Yeah.
$53 at Costco, day and night. That's the only place you go. It's gigantic, and you will find it nowhere cheaper. And It's an amazing deal.
That's an incredible deal, dude. That bottle is just cool to look at. I didn't even know you could buy bottles. I was so enthralled when that guy walked through. I went in that liquor store, and he goes, hey, aren't you? And I said, yeah. And he goes, come over here, and I want to show you something. And he brought me over there, and he showed me that bottle. I said, you've got to be kidding me. That's as big as he is.
Yeah.
I mean, he's going to have trouble carrying that down to the truck. I mean, I've never seen a bottle of liquor that big before, honestly. That thing was monstrous.
And that's why every time my wife brings one home and I chug it, she always says, my God. She goes, you could barely, carry that thing. And I said, well, yeah, it's the bottle that's heavy. So I get help from the neighbors or whatever, and I drink it all as fast as I can because it's easier for me to carry in my stomach and liver than with my hands.
I was blown away at the size of that thing, man. I thought that was the coolest bottle of liquor I'd ever seen. That was awesome.
I'm good. It's Friday. We're done. Have a great weekend. Jump in the comments, say nice things, say horrible things, say whatever you want. And we'll be back again on Monday. I'm good. Have a fantastic weekend.
Okay. Thank you guys very much, man. We do appreciate hanging out with you. As always, it's been an absolutely kick-ass time. So enjoy your weekend. And feel free to share this along with as many people as you can. We do appreciate it. And we'll talk to you soon. Play nice.
Whoop.